Hi.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I feel like I struggle with is I find myself in a place of joy very often. But I have struggled in my life with the relationship with my mother. And I feel that it got into the point that in order for me to maintain my space and my peace, I can't be around her. So I understand that the old loving doesn't depend on her actions and that I have to maintain my space regardless of what she does.
Is she here?
No. But I can't seem to manage that, and I feel...
So she's nowhere around?
No.
And yet you're still struggling.
True.
How far away does she have to go?
And I struggle with the concept of shutting her from my life because it's my mom. But I feel better when she's not around.
Well, we get that. But the thing that we want you to understand is that her not being around won't stop the struggle, because the vibration, the struggle is within you. You're using the subject of your mother as your reason for the struggle. But you don't have to do that. She doesn't have to cease to be. And even if she did cease to be here in physical, your thoughts about her would still cause you struggle. In other words, then it would move into guilt about not having cleaned it up sooner or something, you see. So what we want you to hear is that, and this is the perfect conversation building up to it, to have this discussion. It isn't your mother that is the reason for the struggle. It's something that you are perceiving about her. In most cases, it's because your mother cares more about you than everybody else put together. Usually.
But it goes around the wrong way.
Always the case. And so, since your mother cares so much about you, she's focused on you a lot. But when somebody's focused on you a lot who's not in alignment with Source, then their focus is uncomfortable rather than comfortable. In other words, if someone is holding you as their object of attention, and they're in complete alignment, so they're just flowing pure positive energy all over you, it feels so good.
Of course.
But if somebody is not in alignment with Source energy and is holding you as their object of attention, and even more, needs you to do something different so that they can feel better, so that's what happens. It happens with a lot of you. Your mother, you do it to her too, you all do it to each other, but she wants to feel good and holds you responsible for a lot of the reason that she doesn't feel good. And through the years, you discovered you cannot stand on your head in enough different ways to please her, because it was never about you. It was about something else. You were just close and handy.
Yes.
But
that carries a lot of weight on me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to carry that weight anymore.
Well, but the thing about that
it's not for me to carry anyway.
Well, then stop it.
That's why I don't... Yeah. And that's what I did.
Because in this, you haven't yet. You're still struggling. You see, in the same way that your mother needed you to be different so that she could feel better, that's exactly what you're saying.
True.
My mother needs to be different. My mother, further, she should have never been that way to begin with, because she caused me a lot of grief along the way. And so you are perfectly matched for each other, doing exactly the same thing to each other. And the struggle will go on forever unless one of you,
yes,
because you have no control over what she does,
right,
begins approaching it differently. So,
and what is that approach?
Well, there are a few things that you could do. You could make a list of her positive aspects, but we don't think that would get you very far very fast, because you can't find any. No.
She has many. No, she has many.
We're
amazing.
Playing with you because every subject is really two subjects. It's like a stick that you pick up, and on one end of it is what you want, and on the other end of it is the absence of what you want. So sometimes when you try to write positive aspects about someone, it just reminds you how they're really not the way that you'd like them to be. So there is a conditional thing that starts happening where you begin wishing that they would be different, and then you get into blame about the fact that they're not. So what really works the fastest is, can you give us an example of a condition that happens between you and your mother that makes you want the condition to change? A condition
Yes.
that happens all the time that you wish were different.
She doesn't truly believe in my abilities to be self-sufficient. She
All right.
believes that because of what her doings, I can be, instead of understanding and trusting that she raised me to be
All right, so
who I am and I can handle it.
all right, so she doesn't trust me to be self-sufficient. So if that condition would change and she would stop doing that, how would you feel? What improvement, what emotion would you feel?
I would feel accepted by her. I would feel validated by her. I would feel
Well,
embraced by her.
This is really interesting because it's her acceptance that you seem to most want,
Yes, it
which
is.
you can't get. But
And she wants my acceptance too.
But here's what, for sure, you're a perfect match for each other.
I know,
But
this is long.
But just stay with us. This is easier than you're letting it be. So just play our silly game the way we are guiding it and watch what happens. So I need her to, if she were different, then I would feel. Now we're asking you for emotions that feel good. And acceptance, that's not really one of the emotions that we were reaching for. In other words, what are the simplest, purest emotions that you
Loved.
can think of?
Loved.
What else? If that condition would change, what else? Love and
Peace, like
peace, calm. I would feel ease.
at ease, yes.
I
It's
feel-
very,
Wait. Now don't argue for the limitation. Just in other words, we're asking you to reach for a word and you're finding it and then telling us why you need it. I want to feel ease because it's not been easy, and I want to feel love because I haven't felt love.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of working against the process that we're teaching here.
Okay.
So you want to feel love, and you want to feel ease. You want to feel fun. You want to feel free.
yeah.
You want to feel sure.
supported.
Wait. Supported?
Like,
Oh, like is your mother? Is your mother the vortex through which your well-being flows? So you need your mother's approval. You need your mother's appreciation. You need your mother's support. Ooh, see, that's what's screwy about all of this. She was never the one to give you all of that. You talk of self-reliance, and yet you're mother-reliant.
true.
And it's because that's the way, it's because that's the way she trained you. You're all training each other that way. You say, look at this good thing I do and compliment me. And then you say, and look at this good thing I do and compliment me. Meanwhile, Source is over here loving you, adoring you, complimenting you. You could look to Source at any time and find that unconditionally. Because Source doesn't say, be that way and we'll love you. Source just loves you. Source doesn't say, do that, go over there, don't do that, stop doing that, begin doing that, and we will love you. Source just loves you. That's what we mean when we say looking for love in all the wrong places. Asking your mother, who is an inconsistent vortex through which love flows, is really not a good idea. Because she might love you when she's happy or drunk. But she's not going to love you when she's in a bad mood. She's going to let you down when she's not in alignment.
Right.
She's going to let you down when she lets herself down.
Right.
You say, this is big.
It is
So
big.
play the game with us again. So if she would stop fussing over me or needing stuff from me or not believing in me, I would feel ease. I would feel calm. I would feel joyful. I would feel sufficient. I would feel energized. I would feel invincible. I would feel clarity. I would feel sure. I would feel clarity. I would feel sure. I would feel
I would be
whole.
consistent.
I would feel whole. I would feel sure. I would feel balanced. I would feel ease. I would feel love. I would feel fun. I would feel clarity. I would feel passion. I would feel sure. I would feel confident. I would feel knowing. I would feel alive. I would feel invigorated. I would feel sure. I would feel confident. I would feel knowing. I would feel love. I would feel fun. I would feel easy. I would feel eager. I would feel... Now, just saying it, don't you feel more of all of that? Just focusing there for a little while?
Definitely.
Without your mother changing anything.
But she's not here bothering me. And that's the
But
struggle,
how
that
do you-
I can feel all of that.
But how
Abraham
do you,
a
but
lot
how,
and
but
very
how do you,
well.
But
And
how,
she walks in.
But how do you get rid of doubt? You get rid of doubt before it starts. So what happens is, you see, you never prepare the atmosphere because you spend all your time talking about what she's going to do that's going to upset you when she gets there. So when she gets there, of course she's going to do what upsets you when she gets there because you've practiced that. You're literally sucking that from her. That's your expectation of her. She cannot buck your current. But if you would play this game, you see, we gave you a process that will work for you, and you argued for its limitations right away because your past experience hasn't shown you what we're telling you here. If you need the condition to change before you feel these things, you will wait for it forever.
Right. It's never
If
gonna
you
change.
find the way of feeling it, the conditions will change. It is our promise to you. And this is the way in which it will change. Will she be different?
No.
Maybe and maybe not. Will your reception of her be different? For sure. Will your rendezvousing with her be better? Yes. You'll zig and because there are many wonderful things about her. There are many things you love about her.
Definitely.
But you're not hooking up with them because her wonderful things are not what's most active in your vibration. Her troublesome things are what's most active in your vibration because you have been placing your whole sense of self-worth on her. You've given her responsibility for how you feel about self. All she did was give you an avenue into this physical experience. The rest is yours to do.
Wow.
Such freedom, you see.
It is.
So you practice it and you feel it and you practice it and you feel it and you begin noticing subtle changes. But the most significant thing that you will notice is that your mother will no longer be the reason that you feel bad because your confidence will be so sure, your sense of self will be so sure that when she's standing there doubting herself but looking at you, you won't take it personally.
Right. And I've been there at times.
Yeah.
At times. But
Well-
not consistent enough to make a difference.
This was a really good conversation.
It was.
Because you were willing to just explain through your words and everything else how you feel. You're willing to be candid about why you feel the way you do. You felt what we said and stayed with us enough to feel the shift within you. And right now, feeling the way you do, you could not present that question to us in the way you first presented it because everything has shifted, especially your relationship with your mother.
Amen.
So now, what would you say? So you're speaking to infinite intelligence. We can let you know anything you want to know about anything. What do you now want to talk about?
Where am I going next?
Yeah, your mother is irrelevant.
Yes.
Your mother is irrelevant.
I think
So you have found your self-sufficiency. You're no longer tied to whatever she's got going on.
I think we need a rampage of excitement and
we think
feeling
we just,
powerful.
We think we just had it.
We did. Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Really good.